This is going to be a good one. Have you ever wondered if it's safe to keep over $1 million in the bank? Well, if you've ever wondered that, you've come to the right place. Do you want to know the best options for maximizing your returns and minimizing your risks using banks? Well, keep watching because that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how I keep $1 million in the bank while protecting and growing it. Let's get right into this. How do you do this? You don't. I don't keep $1 million in the bank, nor should you. Why would you ever leave $1 million in a traditional bank? Heck, my money, my millions, is not in their bank, it's in my bank. And you probably might not understand what that means, but when I say the word be your own bank, it has meaning. It's not just something that I'm just pointing out. I don't know why you'd ever leave $1 million in their bank, because let me show you what their bank does. Right here on the board, I want this to be a lesson for you. So first off, let's just assume that a traditional bank was willing to pay you 4%. Any of you getting 4% right now? Maybe a couple of you are. I guess it's possible right now, but I doubt it. But here's what you do. So let's just say this is, let's say 100 million or $1 million. I don't care what number you want. We could use $100,000. You put that money in the bank. Why do you put the money in the bank? I'll tell you why. Because they're paying you an interest rate to keep that money in the bank. And even if they paid you 4%, most of you, if your bank was paying you 4%, you'd be lined up outside the door, wouldn't you? You would, wouldn't you? But let me just show you what the bank actually does. The bank doesn't take your money, your $100,000 deposit, and put it into the vault. You did not seriously think that's what they did. Man, you got a lot to learn. Let me show you what the bank does. You deposit the money in the bank. They pay you interest on that money. The bank immediately takes the liability, because that's what your deposit is, and turns it into an asset by lending that money out. Where'd you get your mortgage? The traditional bank, right? So did everybody else. So the bank lends that money out on mortgages. And right now, mortgages, 30-year mortgages, are between 6 and 7%. So if you were getting 4, the bank's lending that out at 7. They're taking a first position lien. So they're taking collateral on that house. And then your money that you just took as a mortgage is going to the seller. The seller does what? Puts the money back in the bank. Why? Because of the same reason you put your money in the bank. Oh, you want your money liquid. You want to be able to use it. Oh, the bank's paying me 4%. That's why you put your money there. So when you do that, the bank immediately moves that money back out. They don't put it in the vault. They make it go to work for them. You gave them the green light to use your money. And in doing that, they're going to use your money to make more money. And they lend it out as a car loan. The car dealer gets the money, and the car dealer puts the money back in the bank. But the bank is charging 8% there, but they're paying you 4%. See what's happening? They're making a spread every time. They're making 3% there. They're making 4% there. Then the bank lends the money back out on another secured asset. So this was secured, right? The car is the collateral. Down here, there's a home remodel loan that they're going to lend it out on. That is collateral. Even if it's a second position, okay? It doesn't matter. Here, they're first. Here, maybe the bank's in second. It's still collateral. They charge 9%. What's the spread? 4 minus 9, 5%. The contractor gets paid, puts the money back in the bank. The bank turns around and lends that money back out to someone for a debt consolidation loan. They're going to pay those credit cards off. Now, there's no collateral here, but they're charging 12% because it's risky. And the credit cards then do what? Put the money back in the bank. Let me ask you a question. How much risk did their bank take in doing all these loans? Very little. It wasn't the bank's money in the first place. It was your money and everybody else's money that made deposits. And the bank made a spread. And if we add these spreads up, it comes up to be that the bank made 20% and you made 4%. You were psyched to make 4%. The bank made 20%. And all the bank did is convince you to give them your money on deposit. And the bank made your money go to work for them. Wouldn't it be cool if you just did everything the bank did? So instead of this being their bank, what if this was your bank? Wouldn't that be really cool if you did the same thing? If your bank paid you 4 or 5% and then you lent your money out from your bank and made all of these spreads. So instead of making 4, you're not making 4, you're making 4 plus the spread. Oh, you don't think that's possible? The second thing that you need to understand is your money, all of your money, should always be in motion. The only money that you should ever leave in the bank is an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of your expenses. That's it. If you're keeping more money than that in their bank, They're loving you. And you know, for that love, the bank shares the love. What are they giving you? Dumb suckers. Oh, tell me they're not. There's not a bank in this country that gives any other sucker away other than dum-dums. What are they trying to tell you? That you're dumb for giving them your money? I don't know. You can be the judge of that. The bank made your money move for them, kept it in motion. So you should do the same thing. You could do all of these. Could you lend money out in first secured position? 100%. Go to privatemoneyclub.com. You'll see that. You'll see how you can lend your money in first secured position. You can make, heck, 7%. That's child's play. Private Money Club right now, 12 to 15% are deals on there. Forget about 7. What's the spread there? Oh yeah, now I got your attention. Could you lend money out on cars? Sure, you could lend money to your kids. You could lend money to anybody. And then you could be the lien holder on the car. Okay, you could do that. I don't, but you could. Could you lend money out on real estate renovations? Sure, you could. In a second position, you could do the same thing. I would charge a lot more than 9. I'd charge probably 15 to 20% for that deal. Could you lend money on debt consolidations? Yes, but don't do that. Because the bank does this because it's not their money. But when you're the bank, it is your money, so I would probably eliminate this. But what you could do is not pay somebody else's credit cards off, but you could pay your own credit cards off. And your credit cards might be charging you 29%. So what's the spread between 29 and 4? Pretty darn good. You can be your own bank. But you got to do the same thing that a bank does. I just told you what a bank does. A bank moves money, and the bank wants you to make deposits. Stop making deposits in their bank. Make deposits in your own bank. Mimic what the bank does is the third thing here. So we've already covered all the things, like stop putting money in somebody else's bank. Put it in your own bank. Make your money move the same way the bank does. Mimic what the bank does. The bank never ever lends money out for free, do they? They always charge interest. So every payment coming back to their bank is always principal and interest, is it not? Have you guys ever taken a loan from a bank and they said that you don't have to pay it back? Nope. Have you ever taken a loan from a bank where you didn't have to make a monthly payment? Nope. Have you ever taken a loan from a bank where you could just pay the interest forever and you never ever have to pay the principal back? Nope. But if you start your own bank and you do it the way that I've done, you definitely could do that. You could pay your bank back interest for the rest of your life. You'd never have to pay the loan back because you make the rules. It's your bank. And then when you die, your bank would make everybody whole. You see, that's what you don't understand. You don't understand what your bank is yet. That's why this is confusing, but I'm not trying to tell you what your bank is. I'm trying to tell you that you can do this if you follow these simple rules. The fourth thing, you got to focus on your money working for you to make more money. The bank never ever loses focus of that. Your money's always working for the bank. So if you own the bank, your money should always be working for you. But you are your bank and your bank is you. So you got to focus on that. And how do you do that? Well, I don't know. I focus on the lowest risk things. That's what I do. I lend money. I lend a lot of the money from my banking system and I lend it out on first secured real estate deals. I lend to real estate investors secured by the property in short-term loans. I do usually 12 months. My loans are never ever 12 to 18 months. That's as far as I go. You could lend longer, but that's what I do. Not only that, the last thing here, in order to be your own bank, number 5 is you got to change your mindset. Like everything I just showed you seems foreign to you because you've just never done it. The banks have been doing this for hundreds of years. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds have been doing this for hundreds of years. The JP Morgans, the Stanleys, they've been doing this. They're all bankers. But you see, in their own personal families, they are their own banks. Don't make any two ways about this. If you change your mindset to keeping money in your bank, then you're way ahead of the curve. But if you keep doing what you're doing, putting your money in their bank, you're only going to make what their bank is willing to pay. And let me just ask you a question. So maybe you could find a bank paying you 4% now because we've been in a rising interest rate cycle. But what happens when the Fed drops rates again? Guess what? That 4 becomes 0. What if you could just lock in and you could just have 4 to 5% be what you're always making? You don't think you can do this? Yeah, but you see, the name on the door might say your bank, but where we're actually going to store your money for your bank is not going to be a bank. It's going to be a giant mutually owned insurance company. What are insurance companies in the business of doing? Providing guarantees. Insurance companies can guarantee you an interest rate on your money between 2 and 3.25% right now. And mutually owned insurance companies also pay dividends. You see, all of this is possible, but the vehicle, the machine that you're going to use to fund your bank is a specially designed and engineered whole life insurance policy from a mutually owned insurance company that pays dividends. At the very end of this video, I dropped the bomb, and now you're like, oh, really? That doesn't work that way. The hell it doesn't. It has worked this way for hundreds of years. I do it. I have over 7,000 clients in this country that do this. So let's just recap real quick. Number one, if you had $1 million, would you keep it in the bank? The answer is you shouldn't. Number two, your money must always be in motion, because that's what banks do. They keep your money in motion. So if you had your own bank, your money must be in motion. You also should mimic what a bank does. A bank never lends to a bad risk. And if they do, they charge lots of interest. A bank lends on secured assets, and they're the collateral. That's the collateral. And usually the bank's in first position. Hey, Ricky Bobby said it in the movie Talladega Nights.
You came in, you said, if you ain't first, you're last.
Actually, his dad told him that, and then he said that for the rest of his life until his dad said,
But that doesn't make any sense at all. You're first, you're last. You can be second, you can be third, fourth, hell, you can even be fifth.
but Ricky Bobby was like, first. Because if you're not first, you're last. And then, once you're mimicking what the bank does, you need to focus on your money working for you to make more money. Every one of these, that spread, is your money working for you. And the final thing to do this is you got to change your mindset. Remember that at the end, I dropped the bomb of what that machine was? That's right. That's right. You got to change your mindset. You don't think a whole life could work for this. And I didn't say it was a whole life. I said it's a specially designed and engineered whole life. So folks, the only money that you should keep in their bank, the traditional bank, is your emergency fund. That's it. The rest of it should all go into your own bank. And what is your bank? A specially designed and engineered whole life insurance policy. Folks, subscribe to this channel right now, and you'll see I got tons of videos showing you how you can create your own banking system, how you can do exactly what I just showed you. But to get started, why don't you check this video out first? How to get yourself out of debt now. Check that video out, and thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time.